Now that the dust has settled and the American Express Gold Card came with all the changes, I think it's time to do some numbers and talk about American Express in general, because they have certainly taken a direction that is very different from where they used to be a few years ago. The first time I heard about this change was in Luke's channel, Luke Points. You guys know Luke, he's great. He said everything that there is to be said about this credit card when it comes to all the features, the credits, sign-up bonuses even. He knows everything. He did amazing videos. Go check his channel. But what I want to talk about is some numbers, and what I want to believe is a more realistic way of looking at these numbers. Most of you will remember, most of you have been following the channel for some time. You will remember the time when I was doing first year, second year, and I was showing best case scenarios basically on the first year especially. Just whatever you're going to spend for the sign-up bonus, and add some credits, assuming that you don't spend anything where you don't have to. And we were getting some crazy nice numbers, very sweet. I think though, when it comes to a luxury credit card, where this is clearly is right now, at $325 a year, for the benefit of spending with American Express, I think we need to put everything in and see some real numbers. Now, we won't have slides. You're going to see me looking down here. That's where I have my notes, and this is my good profile, so I'm trying to look down this way. So let's start really quick. 90,000 points after spending 6,000 in 6 months. That sounds decent. 20% in restaurants for the first 6 months, up to $100. So, okay, keep in mind that for me, American Express points historically have given me about 1 cent per point. So that's for me. So that's the kind of evaluation you're going to see here. 1 cent per point. I know for you it might be a whole lot more. I know people take first class, business class, and they get 10x, but that's not me. 4x on restaurants, supermarkets, 3x on flights, 2x on hotels, 1x on everything else, $120 Uber cash credit, $10 a month, $100 Resi credit, that's $50 every 6 months, $84 on Dunkin' Donuts, for God's sakes, $120 on dining credit in specific restaurants like Cheesecake Factory and Five Guys that I used to love until they became super expensive, $100 on hotel collection, minimum 2 nights. So they have the hotel collection, and if you ever go there, you will see that at least the hotels I like are super expensive. So all of that sounds great. If you add all these numbers, you should be getting crazy returns in the first year. That is until you put this in a real use case scenario, which means, to me, in my opinion, that I'm going to use the credit card as it was designed to be used, as I would use any other credit card. So if I want to order from Uber Eats, I'm not going to say, oh, I have $10 credit, what can I get? I'm going to order whatever I want to order, and I'm going to subtract that $10 off. Typically, the past year where I was getting my American Express Uber credits from my canceled Platinum and Gold, which I was still getting up to last month. I want to know if I still get it this month. This coming month, August. I was getting a pizza that was $21, and I was picking it up. So $21 minus $10, $11 that I need to spend every month to get that $10 credit. Then Resi, I checked the restaurant that was close by where I am here in Maryland, close to DC, for 2 people on average, and it had the $2 signs, so right in the middle, nothing expensive and not dirt cheap. For 2 people, average was coming to $155. So I need to spend that twice a year, $310, in order for me to get $100 back. Still a good deal, but I need to go to specific restaurants that typically are kind of expensive. $84 on Dunkin' Donuts. I haven't been to a Dunkin' forever. $120, but still, like if I go, I'd get my daughter with me. I would still spend $10. I'm not gonna say get one or two donuts and please stop there, and then because then you leave money on the table. If you spend $5 and you don't spend up to the $7, then you're not getting advantage of the full credit. So you probably gonna go over the $7 to get that $7. 120 dining credit. Five Guys, you won't go to a Five Guys that's a burger place and spend less than $25. So you need to spend $15 a month to get this kind of credit. Hotel collection, I checked my favorite hotel that I always talk about on this channel, Andaz in Costa Rica, and on average is $741 according to American Express. So $741 times 2, because this is minimum 2 nights. So I would need to spend almost $500, $1,500 to get $100 off. Keep in mind that if you try to pay with points, it's a whole different story. It's much more expensive to pay with points. Like for the $750 is like 90,000 points. So all that sign-up bonus is one night at the Andes. Meanwhile, I can get Chase points, transfer them to Hyatt, and get the same room with 30,000 points. 30,000 points. So 3x, whatever you see here. Just putting it out there, at least in my use case scenario. So I put some numbers here. I added to whatever I need to spend to get this credits. I added a little more. So I make this more realistic. So on food, for example, instead of saying $300, I added another $100 every week. I went to like $4,800, and then it's $5,170 with the credit that I need to spend. So all in food, $5,171 in a year. Travel, I say $2,082. I put that under 2 nights plus a cheap flight to Costa Rica, $600, $2,082. Gas about $2,500, and groceries $7,200. So you see here that I put very low numbers, and I do that on purpose because I'm trying to make a point. So adding everything up, I spent like a little over $25,000 to hit to make sure that I get all these credits, but I also add some of my normal spending. And if I add all the credits with the sign-up bonus and everything, I get about $1,524. Not about, exact. But $1,524, when I go and spend over $25,000, only comes down to 6% return on spend. So my return on spend, even for the first year, with sign-up bonus, with the $100 credit, 20% every time you go to a restaurant up to $100, is 6%. This credit card clearly doesn't make any sense for anyone making average money. Unless you're way above average, you really don't need any of these points, any of these credits, and you just want to have a gold card, and by the way, okay, I'm getting a little off here and there. Perfect. That's for you. Or if you're a business traveler and you travel all the time, you might find some use with it. Get some decent points. I would argue, though, that a better way to spend money is to have a Chase trifecta. With $95, you can get a Chase Freedom Unlimited, Freedom Flex, Sapphire Reserve, or Preferred, rather, $95 for all the trifecta. And you get 3x on restaurants, 1.5 on everything, minimum, 5x on rotating categories, and you transfer these points to travel partners like Hyatt, that actually those points have a very good value. 3x minimum on Hyatt. That's me though. That's my opinion. I think American Express has been trying to change the demographics of their customers, because truth be told, many people got into the American Express wagon, and lounges have been full, experiences have been watered down a little bit. So I think they're trying to clean some people, but by doing so, they alienate everybody else, the average Joe that was aspiring to get these credit cards. I know from this channel, from your comments, some of you have come to the comments in previous videos and said, oh, I'm working to hit the sign-up bonus, I'm working to get my credit where it needs to be to get the gold by the end of the year. If you're in that kind of situation, you don't need the gold. You don't need the platinum. You need a sapphire preferred at the best case scenario. You don't even need that. Start with a 5x rotating category credit card, 1.5 on everything, 2 on everything. And forget these credit cards until you're either a professional that travels all the time or you really don't care about money. Because in my opinion, American Express right now, at least for the average person, doesn't make any sense. But that's all for today, guys. Let me know what you think. What do you think about the changes on this credit card? What do you think about Amex in general? And where do you think they're going? Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, ciao.